I keep getting kind of a famous feeling. And anytime I get a famous feeling, usually indicates that somebody's either renowned or connected to celebrities or connected to like an iconic historical figure or you kind of get the gist with it.
You're
Like,
right on.
As he always is. That was a clip from Tyler Henry's new Netflix series, Life After Death with Tyler Henry. And joining us now is the world-renowned clairvoyant medium himself. Tyler, so good to see you.
I'm so glad to be back. Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on the new series. You are back on our screens after 3 years. What was it like and what made you want to get the cameras rolling again?
Well, you know, this show is so different than Hollywood medium. Over the past 3 years, we, I think, have all been through so much as a society, individually, and I think a lot of people have really had time to think about mortality and purpose, and so I feel like this show is very timely in really meeting that demand of everyday clients, regular people who really needed a reading and were able to get it. And some were surprises, some of them they were expecting, but the results were always you know, kind of unpredictable. You never knew what was going to happen.
Was that always the intention going into kind of Tyler Henry 2.0 is to dive into the wait list that has over 300,000 people waiting for readings with you?
Yes, that was always the goal, was to meet that demand. You know, I enjoyed Hollywood medium and doing that show and catering to celebrities on that show, but for me, my passion has always been helping everyday people. I'm an everyday person. I grew up in a small town in Central California, and so it was kind of harkening back to why I first started doing these readings, was for people who really needed it, people who might not be able to come to LA, and so I got to travel to them.
And what's cool too is you're even helping find people like private investigators find answers.
When I saw you on TV so much with the stars, I was so hoping as a private investigator and in my cases that you being so young and your energy and your passion, if we could use some of that towards cases, you know, cold cases, new cases, that it would help so much.
What I love about the show is I really pushed my ability to its limits. And you'll see that as you watch the episodes, ranging from working with a private investigator, you know, to really applying my ability in even different ways.
You know, something that we're also seeing with this series too is a more vulnerable side of you. You open up about your own past struggles with suicidal thoughts, health issues, your family's past trauma. How difficult was it for you to literally lay it all out there in front of the cameras, knowing that it's going to be seen by millions of people?
The whole world. And you know, I think there's power in owning our story and in owning that vulnerability. And I think for me, I learned through these readings that so often people resonated with these readings because the clients were in a place of honesty and vulnerability and owning that human aspect that kind of interconnects us all. So for me, the show was an opportunity to do that very thing, to own my story without fear, and just to let people know that, you know, no matter what you're going through, you can get through the other side of it.
What's so fascinating too is not only are you reading everyday people during these episodes as they play out, but we're watching your own storyline play out as well, with you and your mom trying to find answers with your own past family issues.
I'm maybe never gonna know what happened.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a woman who made a mistake or two. We're talking about Stella, who has a lifetime of ruining people's lives.
How difficult was that for you to see her struggling and hitting roadblocks as she was trying to find answers that she so desperately wanted?
You know, people come to me for answers or clarity, and my goal is to always try to provide something along those lines if I can. And so to see my mom, who needed so badly answers herself, but to not be able to be the source of those answers, kind of had the tables turned on me. I think it was almost kind of a universal irony there, that I could do this for others, but when it came time for myself, I needed help from other resources. As a kid, I was told that my mom's mom had spent time in prison. This was no secret, considering she served 30 years, and for a good portion of my childhood, was in the pen. In recent years, we discovered through a genealogy test that my mother was not actually related to the parents she thought were her parents for the first 50-something years of her life. This culminated in a discovery that my mom was actually taken as a child, and the woman who took her later went on to commit multiple homicides and spent over 30 years in prison. So only recently did my mom know that she had a loving family that had dedicated their whole lives to looking for her, and just was never able to find her because this criminal had taken her and hidden her away in states away from where she was born. So it was an incredible story of resilience, identity, and going back and really figuring out where we come from, who we are, and nature versus nurture.
You know, by the end of the season, there's still some more answers to be found.
Yes.
Could this open the door, set the stage for possibly another season?
Oh yes,
Okay.
and there's a lot that wasn't included in this season about the story that I think people will find very interesting and could definitely set the stage for a second season.
And there's a lot more people on that wait list too.
That's right, plenty of mysteries to explore both personally and professionally.
Speaking of personally, we get to see a lot more of your boyfriend Clint in this series as well. Now, how does that work when it comes to tapping into your own personal life? Are there things that you don't want the spirits to tell you about possibly your future with someone?
Sure. Well, you know, I always say it helps to read strangers who I don't know or don't know anything about because I don't have bias. But when it comes to ourselves, we have implicit bias, right? We have our own hopes and fears and concerns. So it is a little bit more challenging reading myself, but I would say my ability and intuition has allowed me to get a sense of who I resonate with and who I don't. And that is immensely valuable in kind of getting an understanding of who is a likely candidate for a long-term relationship or a long-term friendship.
So you got good vibes with this
Good
one?
vibes. We're half a decade in. I feel
Yeah,
like it's a testament to that, and I hope we have many more.
I love seeing how far you've come in your professional life and your personal life. Where do you still want to continue to grow and go to from here on out?
You know, I think every reading teaches me something new, and I think makes me a better medium and a better person. And so in whatever way I can explore those messages, those themes, and just bringing an awareness that, you know, love doesn't end when people pass away, however I can manifest that message, I'm very thankful.
And you're putting those messages into another book, Here and Hereafter, which is out on March 29th. What can fans expect with this work of art?
To put it concisely, this book really for me was about if the departed could do it differently, if they could do it over, what would they do? And you know, in these readings I've done, I've seen the power of regret in people's lives and how they wish things could have been said or done.
I know you're booked and busy, but do you still have time to read celebrities as well?
You know, I really don't dedicate my time to celebrities so much anymore. I love the relationships been able to cultivate, and it's been amazing. But when I can, I just dedicate my time to everyday people. You know, people who are dealing with terminal illness.
Yes.
I've actually been doing a number of those readings lately. So that to me is where my ability shines the most, where there's that need.
How special is that to you to be able to walk away from a reading like that, especially with someone with a terminal illness, knowing how much you've impacted them just with your ability?
It's so humbling, so humbling every single time. I feel so thankful to be able to be the catalyst for that, but I certainly don't feel like I leave that wanting to take credit for it. And that's one of those things I've learned with this work, how humbling it is. It reminds me that I'm about this big and that my job is just to be the messenger.
You are a master of your craft and you are doing such good work out here. Because we are Entertainment Tonight, I do have to ask you, who would be your dream celebrity to read?
Dream celebrity to read. All right, Margot Robbie would be really interesting
Ooh.
because she's a bit mysterious, okay? And I always got to go back to Tanya Thick. Or not Tanya Thick. I've already read Tanya Thick. Tanya Harding. A lot of
Okay,
Tanyas. But Tanya Harding would be
wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be seeing Tanya Thick here in the next month. She contacted me, and we were actually able to meet after Alan's passing on Hollywood Medium. It was really cathartic to not only have met him in life, but have him come through for her. It was a really emotional episode. So now that some time's passed, I'm looking forward to seeing her here very soon.
And this will all be off camera, a private reading?
This one will be a private
Okay.
reading, but it was really a fascinating demonstration of being able to meet with someone when they were here and then when they passed away.
And a full circle moment too of your abilities and your impact on entire families.
And the testament that his love, you know, was there for her in life and continues to even on the other side.
Tyler Henry, thank you so much for joining us here at
Thank
YouTube. Everyone, you can check out Tyler's new Netflix series streaming now.